we're in a lot of trouble. So, a rich little man with white hair died. What has that got to do with the price of rice, right? And why is that woe to us? Because you people and 62 million other Americans are listening to me right now. Because less than 3% of you people read books. Because less than 15% of you read newspapers. Because the only truth you know is what you get over this tube. Right now, there is an entire generation that never knew anything that didn't come out of this tube.
When we first opened our doors.
Since 1926.
Since 1978.
For 60 years.
For 75 years.
For over 80 years.
In 90 years.
For over 100 years.
Nationwide has been on your side.
Restaurants have always been there for you.
Nissan has been with you through thick and thin.
We will do what we've always done.
Take care of people.
We're people.
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 People. People.
People. Family.
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 Family. Family.
Family.
Family.
Family.
Families.
Families. Families.
Even now. Especially now.
Especially now.
Right now.
Now more than ever.
More than ever.
Today, more than ever.
Today, more than ever.
In times like this.
At times like these.
During these difficult times.
In these troubled times.
Challenging times.
Trying times.
In these times of uncertainty.
During this time of great uncertainty.
During these uncertain times.
During these uncertain times.
In uncertain times.
In uncertain times.
Uncertain times.
Unprecedented times.
Unprecedented times.
Unprecedented times.
This unprecedented moment in our history.
It's time of social distancing.
While things have slowed down. As we turn more inside.
While the doors may be closed.
While the distance between us has gotten bigger.
The more we stay apart.
We still find ways to stay close. Even when we're apart.
Even if we can't stand closer than 6 feet.
We can all stay connected to work, school, and most importantly, to each other.
There's still ways to touch each other.
All without leaving the comfort and safety of your home.
Without leaving the safety of your home.
From home.
Home. Your home.
At home.
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 Home. Home. Home. Home.
Home. Home. That's the key.
Buick and GMC are here to help. Con Edison is here to help. Here to help.
Our teams are here.
We are here.
We're here.
We're here.
Here for you.
Here for you.
We're here for you.
We're here for you.
We are here for you.
We're here for you.
We are here for you.
We'll be here for you.
Runnings is here for you.
We're still here for you.
We're with you. We're part of your community.
So you can trust us.
You can count on us.
And we'll get through this. Together.
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 We're together.
Together.
And together.
Together.
Together. Together.
Together.
Together.
Together.
Together.
Together.
Together.
MasterCard.
This tube is the gospel, the ultimate revelation. This tube can make or break presidents, popes, Prime Ministers, this tube is the most awesome goddamn force in the whole godless world. And woe is us if it ever falls into the hands of the wrong people. And that's why woe is us that Edward George Ruddy died.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about troubling, irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
plaguing our country.
That's why woe is us that Edward George Ruddy died. Because this company is now in the hands of CCA, the Communication Corporation of America. There's a new chairman of the board, a man called Frank Hackett, sitting in Mr. Ruddy's office on the 20th floor. And when the 12th largest company in the world controls the most awesome goddamn propaganda force in the whole godless world, who knows what shit will be peddled for truth on this network?
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 So you listen to me. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We're in the boredom-killing business. So if you want the truth, go to God. Go to your gurus. Go to yourselves. Because that's the only place you're ever going to find any real truth.
I'm going to tell you what I saw today, and you won't bloody believe this. So I was in a pub in Westminster, and there was a group of guys sitting there drinking, and one of them had a mask on. I kid you not. One of them had a mask on, right, and was pulling down the mask to drink his beer and then pulling it up again while sitting across the table from his friends. Can you believe that? He was literally pulling it down, drinking the beer and pulling the mask back up. I'm flabbergasted. I'm totally flabbergasted.
Why do you wear a mask outside? What's your thought on that?
I'm not sure why.
Good news for you.
You
don't have to wear a mask anymore outside.
Okay. There you go.
All right. How do you feel?
The same.
I'm Ami Horowitz, and some people are still wearing their masks outside who are fully vaccinated, even though the science says they don't have to. Let's find out why. Why are you wearing a mask outside?
It feels weird not to. I just like it. I got used to it. I don't mind wearing it. I guess I'm just used to it, I guess.
I just have it on. I forgot it was on.
You forgot it was on? Are you vaccinated? Why are you wearing a mask outside? What's your thought process?
No comment.
I just feel like I have to wear it. I don't know why. I just want to wear it. Yeah, I guess like my friends wear them, so I'm like, if I might as well just too.
I feel like I won't take off my mask until everybody does.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We have been very
role modeling, right?
I mean, it's just there's a lot of anxieties with taking the mask off, you know, for the first time. So it's
because
probably,
it's been so long.
Yeah, it's like a social anxiety at this point. It's just, you know, mental well-being and stuff.
So it's virtually impossible to get coronavirus outside while you're vaccinated.
Okay.
Does that change your thought process at all?
Yeah, not really. I'm just gonna keep wearing it. I personally still wouldn't want to take the risk anyway, and I don't trust anyone else. So I'm just doing it for my own
Even if the
health.
science said it was like basically impossible, it still doesn't matter?
Yeah.
Extra precaution.
Because I want to protect others, and there's still risk no matter what.
So the science says it's virtually impossible to get the coronavirus if you're vaccinated or spread it while you're outside.
Sure.
Does that change your thought at all?
I know that, but it
Okay.
also sets an example, a visual example.
That's how I feel sometimes. I just want to put it on.
Because you almost feel like almost a compulsion to do it because we've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the right thing to say. It's like a pacifier.
It's very
a little
interesting.
kid has his pacifier.
Sure.
You want to take it away and be surprised, don't take it away.
I like virtue signaling.
Yeah. Because what's it supposed to do? It's also a little bit of a protest in a way.
The protest being
Well, I shouldn't be given the privilege to not wear a mask.
Not only have I been double vaccinated, I had COVID.
So you're triple.
I'm triple.
So why? So why do you think you're doing it?
I think
it's virtually impossible to get coronavirus outside while you're vaccinated.
Yeah. I think it's because I have been so infuriated at people who didn't wear a mask when the whole year. So it's like a display of, I still care.
Like my roommate this year was gonna be from Singapore before everything changed, and I would just see videos on his Instagram of like going out clubbing and stuff just because it was safe over there, and it was kind of like, oh man, like if we had actually handled this well, be able to like do stuff, but I'm just stuck inside.
If we handle it better, we could be doing X than everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's take them off. Come on, take them off. Come on.
Oh my
You
God.
do succumb to peer pressure. Jeez.
I've seen it all now. I've seen it all. I can't cope anymore. I really can't cope. Today I've gone into COVID Karen mode. I can't cope anymore. I really can't. I'm losing the will to live with humanity. And the hypocrisy, the people sitting down, drinking, maskless, calling over the barmaid to get them another beer or a bag of crisp while she's wearing a mask and they're not, and they're happily enjoying themselves, and she's got to sweat all day and serve these people their beer and their crisps. The hypocrisy. I'm severe. I'm losing the will to live. This is an IQ test now. If you are that scared that you have to go to a pub and sit opposite your mates on the same table and wear a mask and pull it down to drink your beer, you should not leave your house. You should stay in your house. Craziness. These people are mental. This is a cult, and it is a disease, and it is an illness. They are crazy. And that's all I have to say today. I needed to get off my chest. I needed to rant. These people are lunatics. They're driving me mad. They're really driving me mad. Breathe, Louise, breathe.
But man, you're never gonna get any truth from us. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you that Kojak always gets the killer and that nobody ever gets cancer in Archie Bunker's house. And no matter how much trouble the hero is in, don't worry, just look at your watch. At the end of the hour, he's going to win. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear.
People should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. And often, there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask, and they keep touching their face.
And can you get some schmutz sort of staying inside there?
Of course. But when we get in a situation where we have enough masks, I believe there will be some very serious consideration about more broadening this recommendation of using masks. We're not there yet, but I think we're close to coming to some determination. If possible, right now, is to maintain the physical and social distancing. But as we've said, and I think all of us would agree, there are certain circumstances in which it is beyond your control when you need to do necessary things, like go to the drugstore and get your medication, go to the grocery store and get your food, that in fact you need some supplementation to just physical distancing. And that's the reason why some time ago a recommendation was made, I believe it was Dr. Redfield at the CDC who first said that, about getting some sort of a covering. Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it, because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. But some sort of mask-like facial covering, I think for the time being, should be a very regular part of how we prevent the spread of infection.
In case you guys didn't hear, Governor Inslee, in his infinite wisdom, has decided after over 100 and some odd days that we should all wear face masks inside and out. Here's what I say. Don't be a sheep.
We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. But you people sit there day after day, night after night, all ages, colors, creeds. We're all you know. You're beginning to believe the illusions we're spinning here. You're beginning to think that the tube is reality and that your own lives are unreal.
There is an enemy in the universe that believes in slavery. He is opposed to God who believes in freedom. And the slavery of the mind is achieved, control is achieved by means of ideas supplied to the mind. And obedience is rendered willingly, and the victims are unaware that they are rendering obedience and are quite satisfied and have no desire to be free from it. And there is the slavery that is achieved by conditioning the mind so those who are seeking to make us slaves make us slaves and get their will over us by feeding us ideas which we adopt and learn to believe in and think are all right, and ignorantly adopt and follow, not knowing that we are being conditioned by keen, sharp, unscrupulous minds.
You do whatever the tube tells you. You dress like the tube, you eat like the tube, you raise your children like the tube, you even think like the tube. This is mass madness, you maniacs. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion.
Who are making us slaves, we don't know that, and we render obedience or rather willingly, and are unaware that we are being controlled. Now the greatest war today is the war to win the control of our mind. The greatest war that ever was fought is not in the history books anywhere. It's not fought during the Second World War, nor in Korea, nor in the First World War, nor the Revolutionary, nor the Civil, nor any of the wars that bloody the pages of history. Those wars were wars of body against body, gun against gun, sword against sword, battalion against battalion. But the greatest war in the world is the war, the battle for our mind. And that is being waged today by every modern effective technique. It is being waged by the press. And if you could suddenly stand off objectively and look at your own mind and see how much the press has fed into your mind and how you have come to be more or less a creature of the press, you'd be shocked, I'm sure, and you'd spend days in fasting and prayer to get free from it. And then there's the radio, which is a new technique for the dissemination of ideas. And it is also being used to help control our minds. And of course there is the drama, which has always been in its various forms an effective technique for the controlling of the minds of the people. And then we have developed over the last years, perhaps over the last 50 or 60 years in America, one of the most potent techniques ever devised by the mind of man for the control of the mass thinking of the people, and that is advertising. The advertisers are the best educators in the world, and they're busy educating us by every means that they know, expensive and carefully thought out means. They are busy controlling our thinking. Now, the object, of course, is to win everyone to think the same, and to think the same on certain subjects, certain great topics, on life and love and money and pleasure and marriage and values and religion and the future and God and our relation to God and all the rest. We are being influenced very strongly by these means which I have mentioned to think the same about life.
But Hannity admonished Memorial Day revelers for not taking proper precautions.
There's no mask wearing here that I see, or not much at all. I see no social distancing, but if they get the virus and enter in contact with older and more vulnerable Americans, that could be a disaster for others. That's why in a short period of time, it's only temporary, you can't social distance, please wear the mask.
The social distancing is actually a technique that might be causing more harm to our children than that which it seeks to avoid. Social distancing is a euphemism for social isolation. It was a technique that was developed about 70 years ago by the CIA, and they found it was really, really good at breaking down enemies of state. It creates depression, poor sleep quality, impaired executive function, accelerated cognitive decline, poor cardiovascular function, and impaired immunity. All of those are things I think we can agree we don't want anybody to experience, not least our own children. It doubles your risk of death if you're black. It almost doubles your risk of death if you're white. And the harm that you get from enacting social distancing and social isolation on somebody is the same as if they were very, very obese. Moreover, it destroys the part of the brain that is actually responsible for learning in our children and ourselves, which is known as the ventral striatum. Medically speaking, what recent studies have shown is it is the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day and being an alcoholic. So put simply, we'd be better off lobotomizing our children, handing them a pack of cigarettes and a fifth of whiskey, and then sending them into homeroom than we will be by socially distancing them this fall.
Turn them off!